When I was just a little boy, I asked my father, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? Is what he said to me.
Good evening. Welcome to the Relishing Dead podcast, where we devour everything in the TWD universe and beyond. I'm Dawn.
I'm Barb.
And I'm Carol.
And we're missing Eliza tonight. Maybe she'll get to pop on later. I'm not sure. But we are going to be discussing, guys, episode 7, 8, 9, and 10 of From. So we're crash coursing here right before the season premiere of season 3, episode 1. So I guess we'll start out with episode 7 called Belly of the Beast.
All right.
So what'd you girls take from this?
I liked this episode, this first one. Just learning about the insides of the beasties and just all the just the grossness of it was just very sweet.
Yeah, I found a lot of, and I hate to be this way, like potholes. Like, you know, you're cutting into a monster and he's not tied down. You know, you don't take the extra precautions. That's the episode, correct? Because I binge watched them all.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I was frustrated for them. But yeah, very excited to see what the insides were like, because you know we like that stuff.
We like that stuff.
Well, see, I kind of took from it. Victor gives worms to Smiley. Fatima's pregnant, and Kenny's freaking out that they want to bring the body into the what is it?
That's it. That's the first episode. We're done.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I took. I'm like, oh my gosh, Kenny's so funny. He's like, oh my god, I don't want to bring this in here or not. Which I don't blame him. I'd be thinking the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. And then what? Dale stabs Ellis.
Yes.
Yeah, that went on too. Like, he needs to be in the box.
Yeah, but you know, Harold or Boyd said he didn't want to do the box anymore. So
yeah, but this is the colony house.
I
Colony house and the town got two different rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you never know. So what did you all think when Boyd gave the worms to Smiley and transferred the blood, and then how it supposedly killed Smiley, and then the other creatures or people just kind of watched and were like shocked. They didn't know how to react.
Yeah, because they've never seen that before. The monsters themselves have never seen that before. So they kind of, look at each other like what is this?
Yeah, because I guess he's the leader. I don't know.
It bothered me because it was, and we learn in a couple of episodes later that it was kind of a one and done thing. It was a one trick pony.
Right.
You know, gave all the worms to Smiley. Now what do they got?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that kind of was like a one trick pony. Like I said, it kind of bothered me.
So would you bring the body in and examine it? What do you all think in the comments? Would you all bring the body in and examine it?
Yes, just tie the fucking thing down.
Yes.
I mean, they tied the freaking drug addict down.
They got the bed straps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
But yes, absolutely would have dissected it myself.
Yeah.
Pretty creepy. Like, I was really surprised everything was like just, there was no bodily fluid at all, except for the little bit of bile they found.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of just like, you know, now what do we do with it?
You think the worms sucked it all up?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I saw on the From MGM Plus Facebook group, there was a guy that had a theory about the monsters actually being trees.
Mm-hmm.
And he, God, what was the theory? He said that, because the trees are moving,
Right.
we know this. So the monsters being trees would make sense because they roam at night. They wouldn't necessarily go back to the same exact spot during the day. And something about the insides of the monster look like petrified wood.
Okay.
Find the picture. Yeah, the inside of the monster looking like petrified wood, and the cicadas. Here it is. Okay, so there's the petrified wood looking innards.
Right.
And the cicadas, when they're underground, they they rub themselves up against the sap
Okay.
tree to nourish themselves. Let me see. I found it here. It says there are 5 developmental stages of a nymph that biologists call instars, which is the small part of the cicada. The now underground nymph would feed on the xylem, otherwise known as sap, from the tree's root system. There is still no concern for damage to the root system as the saliva of the nymph seals the feeding hole on the root before moving to the next root. It's Mother Nature's way of putting a cork back in a bottle. And it's kind of like the tree sap is like a lotion to them, to nourish their bodies, keep their skin kind of supple so that they can still fly and stuff. So anyway, it was just interesting that Tyler Bing is the one who had the theory. Yeah. So anyway, it was kind of cool that there was that theory that, of the cicadas and the trees being connected and the monsters being trees and all of that. And then it made sense because the monsters at night, they're moving around. They try to go back to where they were, but they're slightly off during the day.
Right.
We know that some of them stay underground, but we've got the milkman, we got the cowboy, we got the girl, we got the nurse, we've got the father or the priest, whatever. So, and then we have Smiley, or had Smiley. And we didn't see all of them underground. We only saw a few of them. So anyway, I just thought it was an interesting theory that somebody had and kind of made sense. So
yeah. And then we see Jim with who is it? Chris. Jim sees him with the drone that he had bought his nephew or something for their birthday. Right. And so Jim's wanting to figure out, hey, how can they use that drone to be able to see beyond where they are, which I think is a great idea. Jim's really trying to figure out things because, he seems like he's an intelligent one in the group. Him and Jade. Yeah.
So that's him seeing the drone.
Yes. To see if they can find anything out there. And then I also thought it was interesting. I don't know if anybody else seen this, where Victor was walking around and he said things are changing. I've talked about this before. He said he's never seen this before.
Right.
And usually when this stuff happens, something bad happens. So it makes me wonder, like, I don't know if anybody else thinks this, like when Ethan got his leg hurt, like he healed very quickly.
Yeah, but he's still walking around with that stick.
And then like his leg healed, and like we see Boyd with his Parkinson's, that it's developing faster. And then like I'm wondering if Fatima's pregnancy like is going to be quicker. Like there's not going to be 9 months. Like I feel like everything's progressing faster where they're at, because everybody's getting gray and like looking older, and then beards and yeah. Anybody else have a theory on that?
Jason said, I think Sarah has a good theory with it being the deceased people's fears. And we saw that too. And that's another, so many theories that are going on back and forth on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And she even Sarah talks about the deceased people's fears, you know.
But I say to watch Victor. Everybody needs to pay attention to Victor because he's been there the longest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like him and Ethan are connected in a way. Because like Ethan is always saying there's a story. We got to find the pictures, put the pictures together of Victor's. It will tell the story.
Right. Destiny said she hates cicadas. That would have freaked me out.
Cicadas freak me out. I don't like their little. And then I think kind of we had this question when we had Harold on. Someone asked, like, why didn't they have town meetings so everybody knows what's going on? And he says everything's happening so quickly.
Yeah.
But I love that Jade and Tabitha actually got together and actually discussed what was going on. And they were both seeing visions. Right. And they kind of are working together on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you want to add to that, Barb?
Nope. Gotta remember, I hadn't watched it in a long time, and then I just binge watched the 4 episodes we were doing tonight. So theories. I mean, this is gonna sound so stupid, but I'm just laughing, thinking this is old Donna. She's got it all set up. I don't know why. I just think her character on here is just so unique, and just the way she does things and controls things. Like, I'm sure this is a later episode, but when she was trying to calm down Fatima about being pregnant, I don't know. Weird out theory, but who knows?
Yeah, and what Pam says, she was scared because she supposedly couldn't have kids.
Right.
Yeah. And
so
then,
go ahead.
And plus, she goes to Donna because they're worried because they're running out of food. And even Donna's saying, hey, we can't plant any food. The soil is bad.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going on and changing. And then another point I wanted to bring up is Mary L sees the music box in her dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the episode? I can't remember where she wakes up and Boyd shoots Smiley, or is that the next?
That was the one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My 2 theories are just weird. It's just like who's in charge, and I think it's like either Victor or today I was thinking Donna, but
yeah,
I think it's all Victor's dream.
Well, and then Eldon has the dream,
and
he sees the music box. And I saw on Facebook where everybody was saying that this was Fatima.
It looks like it.
Yeah. So, and then the next episode.
8. That one is Forest of the Trees.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Let's see. That's where we learn. That's where they open up the body.
This one is where Kenny has the dreams and sees the cicadas in the music box.
Right.
Yeah. And he has a mark on his arm or something from his dream. And that wakes up.
Yeah.
And I thought this was interesting. In 8, they have the little melody, and I wrote this down. No one is here for free. They come for us in threes unless you break the melody.
Yeah, that's the last part of it. They steal
yeah.
I can't think of what it is, but yeah. Unless you stop the melody. That's the biggest thing that we take away from that last episode.
Yeah, Pam. Donna does seem to show up at weird moments. That's why I had that twisted thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that would mess with my head if Donna's actually, Of course, I had said that that Victor was the one he was the one who was doing all of this, and somehow subconsciously or not, whatever. Any of the characters that we have right now, the ones that we like, I think it would really mess with our heads if we found out that they were the ones that were controlling everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jason, you're right. Anytime you do a nursery rhyme like that, us old schoolers, it definitely hits us in the feels where Freddie's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
They touch, they break, they steal. Thank you, Bidey.
Yes, dreams manifesting physical afflictions.
Yeah.
And then also, if you remember, like I told you, so everything's healing. Like Ellis's wound kind of heals up really quick too. Yeah.
All right. So I've kind of lost where I'm at in the slides, but
We're on episode 8. We're talking on 8. And this is where Tabitha shows Jade the tunnels.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Is that the one? Let's see. What's this one? Okay. This is the one where Kenny.
Yes. That's the beginning of the episode.
Okay. Yeah. So Tabitha and Jade are at the tunnels. Okay. So yeah. So Ethan gets the little thing from, or finds that little crayon or that whatever in the jacket that Victor gave him. Right.
Yeah, the thing that turns out to be his sister's.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love every interaction. Now this is where we learn about Victor's sister.
Eloise.
Yeah. I love all the little interactions that Jade has with anybody in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's so sarcastic. He cracks me up. He's one of my favorites. And then we learn about the cars that Victor's been hiding. Donna finds out about Smiley.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn about Eloise. Okay, so Randall grabs a hold of Donna, then ties her to a tree. Tabitha learns about the tower.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I think that's the end of that one. So here's episode 9.
And also in episode 8, that's when Tabitha sees a picture of the lighthouse, and that's when Victor tells her that his mother went to the lighthouse.
Right. So that's where we learn about that. And every time I do these screenshots, every time they show a shot of Victor's pictures, I always try to capture it because all the other pictures that are drawn in there, they've got something to say too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always trying to catch a little nugget, because Barb taught me that.
Yeah, there was a picture when they were after Ellis was stabbed. They were walking out of the clinic, and it had all those pictures on the back wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my phone, so I tried to screenshot it, but it wouldn't let me because I wasn't on the big TV. And I'm like, damn it! Hopefully Carol got that. Who knows?
Yeah, I try to get those anytime there's like a pull away shot, and you see a bunch of stuff on the wall in the background. I try to grab those because like you've always said, you got to pay attention to what's going on in the background. Got to pay attention, and so I try to grab those as often as I can. But
it's almost like, are they attacking everyone in their sleep now when they're having dreams? And that kind of what Jason said makes you think of Freddie.
Yeah.
Now it's like they're like, we can't sleep now. We're going to have to take turns of watching because we can't go out at night. Now we can't even sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Anissa said there's a sign for the motel but no building. I know we noticed that. And the other thing was like, why is there again the car in the pool? It cracks me up because the fence doesn't look like a car drove through it.
And it's upside down.
And it's upside down. Yeah.
There you go, Destiny.
So did they fix it or no? Yeah, 1, 2, Smiley's coming for you. Great, Destiny. Now I have that in my head. That's fantastic.
And she has a doll that she can sleep with.
I do. Oh, where's my Smiley? Here he is. Him so cute. My cats hate him, by the way. They do. They hate him. All right, so.
And then anything else in 8 want to go over?
I can't think of anything that stood out in 8 to me. But I think 9 and 10 are, yeah, now Jason's building on it. 3, 4 better lock your door. That's fantastic. You guys are sick.
The only other thing that stood out to me is Ethan says all of us have a quest. When we have a quest, the quest is you have to save someone. So it's like when they're going on these little quests, it's like, do they need to save a certain person?
Right.
And then what did you all think about Chris tying Donna to the tree?
You mean Randall?
Yes, Randall. Sorry.
I mean, he's trying to figure shit out too. And he thinks that he's got Jim as an ally.
Right.
But he doesn't have Jim as an ally.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to figure stuff out as well. I think he's going about it the wrong way, but I can't really say that because, if I had my suspicions, what would I do?
I know.
I don't know. Tying her to a tree seems a little excessive.
And I sure don't want to give him the gun.
No.
Because he's not stable.
No, he's not stable. But I mean, are any of them right at this point? See? Yeah. They're building on it. Destiny started it. Jason did another one. Kiki did 9-10, get your talisman. Jennifer's like, I was saying that to myself. These people are sick.
We need to make this up, and then we need to sing
we're going to do
it.
I guarantee you by the end of this evening, we'll have all the verses listed on the comments, and we'll just post it.
Yes. And then we'll tag them in it.
Kiki said, so we got 3, 4 better lock your door. 5, 6 from Kiki. 5, 6 make sure your window's fixed. So we need a 7 and an 8.
Better stay up late, but you can't really say that. That's copying, but
yeah. And then we have 9, 10, get your talisman. 7, 8. Yeah. So then we got 9, 10, get your talisman. So that's it. We're gonna have to post that song.
yeah.
Funny. I love it.
You're all so smart.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to move on to 9?
Yes, and it is called A Ball of Magic Fire.
Okay, so 9 and 10 are a little fresher in my brain. So we learned the first victim to the cicadas, other than Smiley, but Smiley wasn't really a victim. They were inside him. Is this lady here. And I love the gore. I love it. It's fantastic. She's got her legs like all kicked up on the side, and
I wonder if she's considered the first of the 3. I don't know.
I don't think so because they completely destroyed her. So you have the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Julie, Randall, and Marielle. Is that how you say her name?
Marielle, yeah.
So those are the 3. So, and then the whole interaction with Donna and Randall, and then Jim shows up with that one. And then Kenny and Sarah have their conversation in the sheriff's station.
That was a very intense scene. And I love that scene with Kenny because you can see his character growth in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good one. And then we see the cicadas traveling to the Colony House. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Colony House. I swear I want to call it Hilltop every damn time. I'm just going to give in and just call it Hilltop, okay? Shall we? We'll call the town. We'll call that Alexandria, and we'll just be done with it. And then Randall and his big mouth gets him in trouble with Boyd in the RV, of course.
And another thing where they keep saying in 3, if we remember when Boyd sees Martin, and he's chained. There's like 2 chained bodies behind him that are dead. So it's like there's 3.
There's 3
again.
there. Right. They do a lot of they have a lot of references as far as numbers and stuff like that in this show.
Mhm.
47 or 4 and 7 is a big thing in this show as well. And it's real subtle, but I've noticed a lot of triangles in the show. I think Fatima or Ellis has a necklace that's a triangle. And you see them every once in a while. One person had them on their sweaters and stuff like that. And so, and the triangle is very symbolic too, and that's 3-pointed shape as well. So they do a lot. There's a lot of symbolism in this show that's hard to keep track of.
And then Boyd sees Abby in this episode too.
Yes, he does. And is this the one? This
He's talking
here.
about his wife.
Mhm.
Why is it when he sees her, they have very in-depth conversations? That doesn't happen with any of the others, does it? So why is that?
I don't know.
What's your theories behind that? They have such in-depth conversations.
Well, I think that they didn't have the opportunity to say certain things when she was alive, maybe.
Or do we know if it's the creatures trying to trick him though?
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, because then she kind of that's right. When she's down in the cell where Martin was, she's trying to get him to not break the music box.
When she gets so close to touch him and he backs up.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you thought about that, because no one else has that.
And plus, she was there with the spiders too when they were out in the woods.
Yes, she was. I don't like it. And this is what I was talking about with the 47. When they hear the music coming through the radio, the channel that is on the radio is 47.
Yes.
So this is where it starts getting weird. Mari starts seeing things or thinks she's seeing things. And of course, most of the time, everybody's just chalking it up to her withdrawals.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn that that's not the case. And then again, Sarah and Kenny have that conversation. She's trying to just chit chat with him and he's not having it. So there's Daddy the milkman. And Abby shows up in the RV. And again, Barb, like you said, they have this in-depth conversation.
I want to know what was under the RV in the ground making that big noise.
Yeah.
That was pretty scary.
Well, we never did find out what it was. So, and then Randall gets attacked by the cicadas.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a pretty cool scene. I like the way they did that one.
Yeah. How did Tilly know that Fatima was pregnant?
Because she's a creeper. I've had it before. This woman is just strange. And if she ain't part of this game, I don't know who is.
She said mother's instinct, but I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And I love this because they're just kind of, with Tilly being as creepy as she is, and Elgin's teaching her how to knit. And then they have Mari's upstairs and everybody goes running upstairs and Elgin tells them about his dream. And that's when he lets it loose that Fatima's pregnant. And then they find out they can't go to sleep. There's Tabitha and Jade. And like I said, I absolutely love I love any scene that Jade is in. I'm going to crack up because of just whatever his response is going to be. Nissa Tilly she's got the sixth sense because she's on death's door. And then we start finding out who the three are. We found out Randall got attacked. And then Julie
Mm-hmm.
and Mari, she also. So we know that those three are going to be the three that's in the nursery rhyme. Me too, Destiny. I love some Jade.
What was the first 3 words of that song? They steal, they break, they what?
They steal, God, what was it?
Because maybe each one of them has a word that has something to do with them.
I have to look and see. They come for 3 unless you break the melody.
Yeah.
No, the part where it says they steal, they break, and then isn't there the third word?
Yeah. They I think Jason
They
They
touch.
touch. Maybe it has something to do with each individual. Do you think?
That's possible. I mean, anything's possible at this point. Dang.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the last scene of episode 8 right here is when Julie starts going down. So here we have 9 and 10. I don't understand why Boyd was standing in the middle of the living room staring at the floor. Why was it? I mean, I know that that's where Julie was on the ground having her attack.
Mm-hmm.
Why was he so focused on the floor? I don't understand. Was he having like a mental breakdown or something?
I don't know.
understand that one. And there we have, I love anytime that Dale and Donna are on screen together because Donna just takes him down a notch every time. It just makes me giggle. Okay, Destiny says, I feel like he's trying to connect the dots or something. Yeah, that's possible. I just couldn't figure that one out. And then here we have the other two, Randall and Mari. Their eyes are clouded over and they're completely under control at that point. So then that's how we figure out who the three are. And I liked this scene. Did you guys like this scene with Sarah and Boyd and Kenny in the woods?
Yeah.
You guys like that?
Very powerful.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I think that actress that plays Sarah, I think she did a great job. Hold on, I gotta plug in. My battery's going dead. And I think it showed a lot that she's definitely going to be able to help. And they see that now. They see how she is affected by the energy, I guess is the best way to put it, and how she knows things and that it kind of talks to her, I guess. Would you agree with that? I guess it talks to her.
Yep. I don't know how it does, though.
Yeah, I don't either. And I loved this at the Colony House. It was showing how the people at Colony House, how different people were coping with, not going to sleep. And you got the stoners on one side and you got a prayer circle in the other. And I thought that was great. But Tilly's leading the prayer chain and I'm just like, what the heck? That's the wrong person to be leading that group. She just creeps me out. So then we find out that Tabitha is going to go to the tower and she has that conversation with Jim and she asks him to tell her that it's okay. I don't know how I would feel about that.
At this point, you got to keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of hugging in this episode. Every time you turn around, there's somebody hugging somebody.
And Bitey's right in this episode. Like Sarah talk to they, he, and it. And she was hearing the music box when Boyd and Kenny wasn't. So,
Right. And again, this is a great scene with Jade where he's trying to put the pieces, he's trying to jar his brain into action. Then we see the dead bartender, and he has a whole blown out conversation with this guy and even drinks with him.
it's almost like Jade's becoming the bartender.
You know, I loved it when the bartender said, "You switched out the still." I thought that was fantastic. And I feel like the trees are significant in the story, from the first tree over the road to the trees moving closer to town, the bottle trees and the faraway trees. It's like some strange folklore, like an enchanted or haunted forest. And that's why I said that, you know, even the insides of Smiley looked like petrified wood, you know, and his fingernails looked like petrified wood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, you know, when I said that Tyler Bing had that theory about the monsters being part of the forest, it would make sense.
And also how Victor's saying the leaves are changing, and that's, he hasn't seen that before. And
right. Yeah. And then this guy, his name is, he's the one whose girlfriend was the one that died from the cicadas.
Mm-hmm.
He decides he's going to take action and takes out that poor dude, slits his throat, and takes the guns, and he's going after Boyd, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jade goes to
The
tunnels and sees all sorts of cool stuff. I love the fact that he's got this big ass thing of yarn that he's using as a way to get out of the tunnels. I thought that was really smart. Matthias, thank you.
And then I thought that was cool too, because when Jade went down the tunnel and he looked up and he saw the symbol,
Mm-hmm.
but then when he went to continue to look, and when he looked up again, it was dark. Okay.
Right.
And it's almost like, did the vines and trees move over that opening in the tunnel?
I think that it kind of explained it, because when he was in the tunnel, he didn't see the kids laying there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he had that vision of the kids laying there was when he looked up and he saw that the vining and stuff with the light shining.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he looked back down, the kids were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the hole in the ceiling was closed up.
Well, I was just wondering, since Victor said all the trees were moving, that I thought maybe they moved.
It's possible. You know, this is just like,
I know, there's so many.
there's so many questions.
We need answers.
I know. We need them now. This was an intense conversation between Boyd and Donna. You know, they're just, Boyd's at his wit's end, and Donna's like, look, the problems will be here tomorrow. Come see your son get married. And then Victor takes Tabitha and shows her how to get to the tower. And we see the bottle tree, and he tells her that it's a very specific tree. And I like this shot at the end here where Victor is standing alone. And I can't even imagine what's going on in his head.
She's got my lunchbox.
Yeah, I know, right? What's he going to draw?
He gave that thing up.
I was too.
I actually seen this theory too about the tree, and I can't remember who posted the theory, but they were saying that Victor's mom and Eloise went to the tree,
Mm-hmm.
and the mother pushed Eloise into the tree, but Victor's mother died. Eloise is now out, and she finds Tabitha. She's working at the hospital and finds Tabitha and notices the lunchbox and makes the connection.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I saw Again, and I don't
Yeah,
know
right,
who
Kiki. I
does.
said someone in the real world is going to recognize that lunchbox, and I'm wondering if it's going to be Eloise, since Eloise supposedly made it out.
Yeah, you don't know where she's at. She's not a monster that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw something again, another thing about these bottles. And I guess the thing is the folklore of these bottles is that what they do is they hang them from trees, and they're supposedly to capture bad spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see the bottles and they're corked, that means that somebody believes that they have captured a bad spirit. And if they're not corked, then they're still, I guess, in action or whatever. But several of the bottles on that tree had corks in them, and some of them didn't. So I don't know how that plays into it. I don't know what the whole deal with the bottles are, but I thought that was interesting.
I like how during Harold's interview with us, he had said that the next season's going to get dark, and I'm thinking, we're already there.
Yeah,
How much more dark can you get? This is going to get more confusing.
yeah. Didn't he also say that we were going to get some answers,
Yes.
right? But I think the problem is that we're going to get some answers, but we're going to get 20 more questions out of it.
It's Jenga.
And laughter. He said it's funny too, but okay.
All right.
I do love Jade's development in his character in this season, because he went from this smart ass to like he's really investigating and wanting to do something about getting everybody out of there.
Yeah, he's definitely invested now. When he first
Yeah.
started, and the thing that cracked me up when he went to the cave is he still got that chick's bicycle. He never gave it back.
Isn't she dead now, though?
I don't know. All right. Let's see. So Tabitha makes it to the tower. And Jade and Fatima get married. It was super cute. And I love that Boyd walked her down the aisle. I thought that was sweet. And I loved this shot because literally you can see on Harold's face when he's doing this scene, you can see Boyd with the light going on in his eyes. He figured it out, and he was so good in this scene. I loved it. It was so great. And then dude shows up with the gun and shoots Boyd. Boyd goes down to the area where Martin was, and there's the three chained to the walls. And Boyd has this conversation with Abby. And he decides to break the music box anyway.
And if he listened to Abby, he wouldn't have broke the music box.
Right. Destiny says, I was screaming at my TV when he shot Boyd. Oh, Betrayed King's right. No, her eye, she didn't die, the girl. She had her eye put out by a light bulb during a storm. It wasn't during the storm. Yeah, it was during the storm when they were trying to do the antenna thing on top of the house. And then the three wake up. And there's the dog. I love that dog. And then Tabitha goes up the tower, and the boy in white pushes her over. And she wakes up in the hospital. And that's the last picture that you see. That's it. That's it. So now what?
I know, that's what I said. Like, I've watched, like you all, I've watched The Walking Dead like 100 times, and I've watched like season 2 1,000 times. I could, examine it back and forth. But this is like, I haven't watched it as many times. So
I just don't know enough about folklore and stuff like that.
yes,
You can go down a rabbit hole very easily with some of this stuff, And there's so many interesting theories out there about, who's involved, who's doing what. And I think it leads to the confusion. So, By Boyd breaking the music box, he freed the 3, but now there is no one to feed whatever the 3 prisoners were feeding. So now winter is coming. You are so right, Tina, because in the previews, we see snow.
Mm-hmm. And no food.
And no food. So winter is coming for sure. All sorts of things are coming that have never, that per Victor, have never happened before. You know, mainly like no peaches, and the soil isn't producing the produce, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited to see what happens. We did see animals in the trailer, Kiki, but we don't know if that's going to be a vision that Jade is having, like the cows and stuff. So at this point, we have no idea what the trailers are showing us.
Jason asked, who do you think is in the wheelbarrow? Kenny's mom.
Oh.
I don't know, because in the I don't know who's in the wheelbarrow, but I did notice something on these last couple of episodes where in the preview for season 3, you see Boyd with the monsters.
Christy?
And you hear a woman screaming.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like Sarah.
Well, you hear Boyd talking to her, telling her that she's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
He calls her buddy. And that's what he calls Christy, is buddy. So I don't know. But that was just a little something that I heard earlier on these episodes, is him call Christy buddy. So we'll see. I don't know if that has anything to do with the person in the wheelbarrow. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Kiki says she thinks it sounds like Sarah too. So I don't know.
But I'm just saying, it sounds like Sarah screaming. That doesn't mean that it's in that scene, because you know how they play things off.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's see. I know that we see some new people come into town in the previews. Somebody's talking about an EMT or something. Do we not? Do we know if new people come into town, ladies?
I don't.
I don't either. I thought we had a bunch of new people on the bus.
Yeah. I don't know.
So who's everybody's favorite character so far through season 2? You can only say one. You can't say
Boyd.
3 or 4.
Boyd.
Jade.
Boyd.
Donna's my favorite.
Jade's my favorite. We want to hear who's your favorite in the comments.
Yeah, because I know that we've had, how many have we had so far? We've had, Jason said Ellis. That's a good one. I like Ellis too.
We've had 4 of the actors.
We've had 4 of the actors on the show. Tina likes Jade. Oh, that's right. The EMT is a monster. You're right, Anissa. A cop. Yeah, so we do have some new people that come in to town. Pam says she likes Donna. That's my favorite.
Only one Destiny.
Only one Destiny.
Yes, Betrayed King, Jade too.
We got some Jade lovers in here.
Yeah, we're so trying to get him on the podcast.
I know. Jade's my second favorite character on the show. I do like Jade, just because he's so damn sarcastic and so such a know-it-all.
He's my second favorite.
Yeah.
For sure.
Victor's my second.
All right, so Destiny picked Jade too. So it looks like Jade is the front runner so far. You guys just like Jade because he's smoking hot. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you.
Well, when we were talking to Cordion, when we saw him in Kingsport, Tennessee, we kind of asked him. Of course, he couldn't tell us anything, any spoilers, but we were like, "So, is there going to be a season 4?" And he said, "Well, I'm not looking for another job right now." So that leads me to believe that they're going to have a season 4. So,
well, I certainly hope so, because right now From is the #1 horror show that's out there right now. It's got a huge following.
mm-hmm.
And everybody who watches, I mean, just like The Walking Dead, the first episode, you're sprung. You know? It's like, as soon as you see the blood and guts, it's like, yes, this is what I want. So, Destiny, I want to do more conventions. I want to meet. Destiny, how many more conventions can you do, girl?
Okay, guys, in the comment, you going to do Colony House or Town? I'm doing Town because I want to be able to control my windows.
Yeah, I would do Town during the week, and I'd do Colony House on the weekends.
Town.
Towner.
I'm a Towner too. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
trust.
see, Destiny's with me. Her and I are going to be in town during the week, and we're going to hang out at the Colony House on the weekends. Absolutely.
Pam says Town.
Pam says Town. I can see it. Yeah, see, Tina, right? It sounds like the perfect solution, huh? Yes. And Anissa, see, these are my people.
Hey, Betrayed King, I'm with you, Town. I'm not gonna be there when y'all drunk or whatever, opening windows for the creatures. I'm not having no part of it.
We'd be like, come on in. Have fun.
Y'all
Yeah,
be
baby.
there hanging your talisman in your room.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mess around, or I'd have that talisman around my neck.
Yeah. Yeah, but if they invite them in the house, it doesn't matter.
I feel you. I get it. I don't know. Donna seems like she's a pretty strong character. I think I'd be pretty safe with Donna.
I'm going through the tree to the lighthouse so I can go back to reality.
I'm going to the faraway tree.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting the fuck out. I'm getting the fuck out.
Day parties.
Oh my God, that was fantastic.
I had to think about it. I mean, I would have said Town, but I'm like, wait a minute. No. Get out of here.
I could vacation every weekend and go to the college. I can out by going to the lighthouse, right? Oh, that's great.
Come on, creepy little kid. Push me out of the fucking lighthouse.
Is there anything that you all want to see happen in season 3?
Victor wake up from his dream.
I would like to see if Victor wakes up. I'd like to see if Eloise is alive, that Victor reunites with Eloise.
The only way that I could see them reuniting, though, is if Eloise comes back with Tabitha.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I can't imagine anybody who's lived through that wants to go back.
But she might see her brother. Christy get a new haircut.
Christy. Jason had Christy's haircut. He's like, God, I just love that haircut. Don't you, Jason?
Kathy finding someone who knows Victor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page, Kiki.
Yeah. I can see it. Who do we think that guy is that Tabitha's talking to?
Is it Martin?
That would be a time slip kind of thing, or the monsters have taken Martin's likeness. I don't know. The Trade King wants to see Sarah Dale and Randall see justice. Maybe a game of Russian roulette. Last man standing gets to live. Second chance. Ooh, that's dark. That's dark. Dang. Nice one. I like that.
So who does everybody think is going to die in this coming season? Anybody have a...
I think Destiny wants to see more of Victor's backstory. I think Victor's backstory is very interesting, especially since he's the one who's been there longest. Vanessa said she thinks it's Eloise's husband that Tabitha is talking to, or someone related to Victor. I think Kenny's mom.
Mhm.
I think Christy has a good chance of dying.
I think Fatima is going to die during childbirth.
Do you
I think Fatima's going to die too.
Yeah. And Jason thinks that Sarah is going to die.
I don't want Sarah to die. She's too interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good character because she's the one person in that whole town that is in tune with what, with communicating with what's going on.
She's the key right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be cool if they would do somebody kind of like when Walking Dead would do somebody and kill a character off that you're all like,
Yeah, a shocker.
yes.
Yeah, like killing Boyd off. No, don't say that, Carol.
Excuse me?
Terrible. How could I say something like that?
Barb's will come and get you.
Whew. I'm in trouble now in October. She's going to get me in October.
Woo.
I can see more Kenny being a shock.
Yeah, Kenny would be a shock because everybody likes Kenny. He's that moral compass that we all know that are easy to pick off in the Walking Dead world.
Betray King said Ethan.
Yeah.
That's right, Destiny.
Carl.
First, whatever.
Ethan. Boyd is my second favorite.
No dumpster in town.
Down.
You can slide under it. It's no problem.
Yes.
Yes, it would. You are
Only-
correct.
Only reason I said Kenny is because his character has growth like so much, and then he's dealing with the loss of his dad. And if his mom does
Yeah.
get killed this season, I can see maybe him being destructive and something
Yeah.
happens.
Doing something stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, losing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a rough death
Yes.
when he gets it.
Mm,
I mean,
it's getting
we
dark.
like his mom, and she's really sweet and everything, but her death, wouldn't be that big of a surprise.
Mhm.
So they got to give him the wall treatment. Yeah, that's messed up. I like you guys. You guys are sick.
Yeah, we got to get that song together. We got to get that ready. I think we've heard so far are we saying anything about October? We have two guests confirmed in October. So we'd like to have that little song put together for them.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to be on together.
I'll
Yeah.
go back in the comments and write them all down. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, thanks for y'all joining with us tonight and trying to we've had a lot of guests, and having Harold on kind of put us behind, and we had to do all 4 episodes since it was going to be starting Sunday. So we kind of did a crash course there. Thanks for being patient with us.
So we're gonna do the season premiere next week. Is that right?
On Monday. Yeah.
Okay. And then did we decide on how we were going to handle the Daryl?
So for all you viewers, since From is going to be going on with the season 2 of Daryl Dixon, we're going to do half the show From and half the show Daryl Dixon. If we go over the hour, we go over. If it's an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes, it's just easier for us to do that than try to do 2 podcasts in 1 week, especially if we get an actor, because we kind of have to go by what they want, if they want a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So we have to accommodate them.
Yeah. So I'm excited because Daryl's starting up again. So we're going to get our fix.
Carol.
Book of Carol. I'm so excited.
Seems so long.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. Do we know how many episodes it's going to be?
Someone said 6. Trey
Only
King says 6.
only
Book of
6?
Carol.
I think it is 6 as well.
I just want to go by the kid. The ending of Daryl Dixon. Like I keep thinking of what's the kid's name?
Laurent.
Laurent standing on
Yeah.
that thing. Remember my theory of him not really being there?
Yeah.
I'm dying to know what the freak happens.
Yeah.
That made me mad because I was like, kid, you need to go home. He needs to get back to.
He's got peeps.
I don't think he's there.
Too.
But I'm just because I watched that opening credit.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, he's never faced a walker, but he traveled all that way
Right.
to get to Daryl. I was like, bull crap. He traveled all that way to meet Daryl and is going, hey, on the beach.
Yeah.
Come on.
Not
And there's all those walkers behind him, and they, what is he like, got special blood or something that they don't attack him? I mean, what's the deal?
I
Is
know.
he immune? Who knows?
Sorry, we rip apart TWC.
We can.
Yes.
We've watched it so long. Of course we can.
Destiny says she secretly helped him.
Yeah, I think he's adorable too, Destiny. I would like to meet him.
I just want that Daryl and Carol hug, like
I know.
no sanctuary.
That season 5, episode 1, running into each other's arms kind of hug, where there's tears in their eyes.
I still cry when I see that.
That's my favorite episode. So yes, every time. Every time. Yeah, I know, Destiny. You will not be the only one crying when they reunite because people are going to lose their shit. And I hope they don't wait until the 6th episode to give us that. I'll be pissed.
I don't think they do because there's a lot going on.
Yeah. And I'm so looking forward to Carol's look on her face when they tried to explain to her that they think that Laurent is the second coming.
They don't want no kids with Carol.
Well, because remember her whole interaction with Morgan when he's telling her about the king, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? It's playtime, it's make believe." And so I just know that she's going to have some great line about when she finds out about this kid, and we know how Carol is with kids, so I'm just saying. I don't know. All right. Well, that is it for this evening, I guess.
And we're going to be excited for next week.
Yeah, I'm geeking out about next week.
Okay. We want to thank our Patreons and financial supporters of our show. The list just keeps getting longer.
Yes, I love it.
Destiny Larmore, Terry and Kay Collier, Sandy Morrison, Tracy Killen Stokes, Ben and Melissa Gilbert, Pamela Blythe, Brandon Cade, Marianne Craig, Jason Cohn, Wesley and Sarah Hale, Randy Nickel, Jasmine Mullins, Edward and Diana Ponce Krupa, Casey and Katrina Florig, Jason Hill, Jonathan and Michelle Cooley, David Tuckerman, Tina Stromberg, Debbie Juno Jerome, Fawn Montelago, and Dustin Baker. And a very special thank you to Oscar and Casey. Okay, so if you want to check us out, we are on Facebook. That's where we stream live with the Relishing Dead podcast. We also have a Facebook group. You have to be approved to be on that. So that's where we play our games and give away monthly prizes. Barb gives she does a bunch of trivia and word scramble and what else, Barb? I can't remember all of them. There's so many.
Hidden gems. Who said it?
Yeah.
Who was the person? Yeah.
She keeps you on your toes. We got Instagram. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter. We have our own merchandise you can check out. And then if you want to be a Patreon, it is what, $10, $20?
Mm-hmm.
10 is Commonwealth, 20 is Alexandria. Alexandria.
Yes. And why do people want to be Patreons, Dawn?
Because we give back to these wonderful people in the comments.
We do. We do. And exciting news, you guys can check us out on IMDb now.
Yes.
Yes, we got approved as an IMDb, so we are rocking and rolling. So we really appreciate all your guys' support and love, and we can't wait to see you guys soon.
And another good little exciting tidbit is we are going to be a sponsor of the camp.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, we are. So you're going to see our names on the badges.
Yes, you're going to see the relishing dead. See our lips.
That's right.
So we're excited about that.
Yes. Debbie wants to know, Debbie Juno Jerome wants to know if she's in the Facebook group. I don't know, Debbie. I'll
Do you see? Yeah, you are, because you played the scavenger hunt, Debbie.
Yeah.
You're in there.
And
also, I don't want to interrupt you, but also, Barb, tell them if they're a Patreon what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I created a separate chat in Facebook. Jasmine Mullins had the idea of the name the Echelon Briefings. So we named the group that, and we play separate games for just the Patreons, and we give separate prizes at the end of the month. I do them randomly throughout the week. So that's an extra perk for the Patreons. So they get at the end of the month when me and Dawn do our prizes and we spin, we'll do one for the Patreons for that game as well. So that's another little perk being a Patreon.
Yep.
Yeah, and the prizes are really cool. Unfortunately, I can't play. So I'm a little upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I guess that's it.
That is it. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. We love you. Thanks for watching.